Hello, everybody. I am planning via the natural light of all the reflected light coming in from the snow. We got a dumping of snow a couple days ago. It is, I think, got up to 20 something today. I know everyone has it like way worse than us. I know. I think we got down to 15 last night. It's a little abnormal in this area, but I know so much of the country is in like a deep freeze right now. So I hope everyone is staying warm. And yeah, by the time you see this, I'm actually planning this a little early because of the holiday stuff this weekend. So I am actually, it's Thursday. So I guess one day early. But we're planning from December 26th through January 1st. And I am ready to be done with this planner. Like these little stickers, I liked them maybe at the beginning of last year. Then I realized they were covering the dates. I really personally need to see labels and dates for me to just understand things a little better. It's just me. I don't know. And I'm just looking down here. Let's see. So I'll release Sunday. Yeah, and then a December reset, and then a yearly. And then I'm trying to determine if I can do a 10 minutes better. That's due the following week. That's just a little note for me. But yeah, I think that'll be correct as in what's coming next week. And yes, this is coming out on Christmas Day. I am not going to be here, but I'm just gonna let it be on the schedule that it is because I have 2 more coming next week. So today is here, Thursday, a few days early. I'm just gonna upload this tonight and also do my December reset right after this. So that will be coming out. If you didn't see my very last video, I recommended, before we recap, using, if your planner does this, sometimes planners are a little different, but in this planner from Monday to Sunday, I guess some could end on a Saturday, is that I'm going to use this planner for this week. The new planner does have this week the same duplicate week in it because the first straddles both years. So I put out a video because I love to do this, is make a yearly tracker so I can check things off and move things around as the year goes and see how things progress. So there's a whole video on this. I also love how beautiful it looks, but I just pencil little things in as the year goes along. So that's why I'm not jumping into that one. And then there was also how I set up my January. So I have gone through January and I put the strips, I put these in, and I'm going to put the moon cycles, and that's it. I'm going to keep this very simple. I want to see all the dates on the top, and then I put in just the monthly days off. But when you get to February, I want to be able to see, yeah, but dentist. Oh, my son's dentist. I want to see how many hours I'm actually using because I'm actually going to 11 p.m. So the month of January is a test, and I didn't want to put them all in. Usually I do. I love to put everything in and have it all ready. But there's drawbacks to that, right? You don't like the stickers that are in here that you permanently put in here, and these are hard to take off. So because of all the snow dumping, I had to move a lot of stuff to this week. So I couldn't go to my chiropractic appointment. I couldn't go to, our eye exams. I mean, it was just a mess. I understand people it's snow. Like there's people who've driven in snow. The difference here in the Seattle area is that we have hills everywhere, steep hills, and usually if it melts a little bit, it turns into ice. So I definitely would drive on powdery snow, even without like chains or anything. I feel okay with that. It's just rare that we have that. Plus, if I think about my routes, they're just even 5 minutes from here are like really deep hills, just where you think there wouldn't be any. Downtown Seattle's horrible in that. Like I lived in downtown Seattle for a couple years, 3 years, and there's the Queen Anne Hill there that there is no way getting up that in any amount of. If there's just a hint of ice on there, you're not getting up. Like it's impossible. That's one of the worst hills, but yeah, but when it doesn't get horrible everywhere because we have some ocean air kind of drifting in up and around the peninsula, but yeah, it's also microclimatey around here too. We'll get it worse. We're north of Seattle, in this kind of convergent zone up here. We'll definitely get a whole lot more than Seattle actually does, and it takes us maybe 20 minutes to drive to Seattle. So with no traffic. So yeah, that's just how it is. Anyway, I am kind of losing light a little bit. It was the solstice yesterday, so I guess today we actually have maybe a minute or two more of sunlight. So yeah, this is this coming week, and this is how this last week went. I really loved opening up and seeing all these stickers. They were fun, and I really liked this one. This was definitely cute. Definitely in this area. So I moved some things. Therapy, fortunately, was online, and so in here, it's just like it's that very nebulous time, and I love it. Like there isn't anything officially scheduled, so it's just kind of nice. I had my infusion on Monday, and I have to say it's been 8 weeks since that medicine, and I forgot how much it kind of knocks you on your butt. It's that night was rough, I have to say. It was, but I had forgotten to take Tylenol right beforehand. But sometimes I can get in there and it's a half-hour infusion and it has a little 5-minute flush on either side. And so normally, like, you would think you can kind of get through it. No, I got there just before 11 in some of the start of the snow, and I didn't get out there till 12:30. So it's just like, I want to kind of get in and out of there so I can be home and just relax. Was fortunate enough to pick up like one more gift at Kohl's that I had. Then I did some baking. Did I do the other baking last week? I guess I did. Yeah, because I mentioned the eggnog bread. That's right. And I linked it. This week it was dairy-free 7 layers. I got those done. Oh, they're so good. Like I took extra steps. It's like that refinement year where you kind of nail it and get it in there a little better. So, and then today I'm just kind of going down this list here. We did kind of our last minute online shop. We're getting a little delivery in the morning from our milkman person. Technically it's a man right now. So we're hoping all that comes. We didn't get our garbage picked up. They just don't when it's this icy because of the hills. Like, again, if it was flat around here, yeah, everything would be fine. So, but definitely these snowflakes lined up with the snow. I think we're getting a little bit more tonight, and it might help with the traction a bit more because, yeah, it's just a layer of ice out there right now. And once we get a little bit of snow on there, we could probably drive around a bit more, but we're fine. We're like totally chilling at home, keeping warm on the Yule solstice day yesterday. And I released my last of this year, podcast, my 100th episode. It was kind of good to reflect upon. I don't big celebrate, it's not like I'm going to throw a party or anything, but, yeah, I was just like, yeah, I did it. Cool. Okay. And then I went and watched other holiday movies. What else? I don't know what's happening tomorrow night. It's a very iffy night. So it's a very question mark. We don't know what we're eating. We don't know where we're going. We'll see. And that's okay. Sometimes things can hang in limbo. We're kind of responsible for a couple meals here on Christmas Eve and day. So I just started making a list to make sure that we don't forget any of the items. Like I can't have eggs, so I have a special egg substitute. I use just egg. It's an acquired taste, I will say. It doesn't taste exactly like eggs at all. It has a lot of kind of onion powdery taste in it, so I would not use it in baking. But I have used it in stuffing and it works really well, So some of this stuff, it's just making sure to bring it. So yeah, and then we're just kind of in the middle here. I've been taking some extra vitamins. We're all taking, my family, there is 6 of us. So I know half of them have taken COVID tests because they're all getting together today. My sister's driving up. And I think she's might be nearly there. She drives up from Portland. And we'll test right before we see them just to make sure. So I don't know if that'll be tomorrow morning or the morning after. We'll see. Anyway, on to this week. So I actually just watched this cool little video. And I'm going to mix. I think I'm going to use this one because it's still a little Christmassy, but it's after Christmas. And I had this. And I'm going to use it up. And it kind of started reminding me, this is Swedish, mainly looks to me Swedish. I'm not an expert on this. A bit more Swedish-like, but then it reminded me of the word hygge, Hygge, that mainly is popular in Denmark. And I watched this cool little video about a woman talking about what that word means. And a lot of times people want to say it's around this time in the winter that you can use it, but she was definitely dispelling the myth of it being more of a time of just relaxing with friends, which can be done at any time during the year, and that it's more common that it's done in the winter there because there's just more winter there. It's the same thing as of like cause and effect of like, can we correlate the two, or is it just naturally happen at the same time? And it's more the latter. So I kind of wanted to use these crossing into, and she was also explaining, I'm going to link it down below. She was also explaining that the word actually is more from, getting all my Scandinavian countries mixed up. It was more from Norway. And then last night I was just watching a film in Finland. So I was trying to keep these straight. Geography, you would think as a visual person would be one of my strong suits, but it's not because it has words and memorization. And that to me is hard for my dyslexia. So please forgive me. I am doing my best. And yeah, that it can be really done at any time. And that I'm going to kind of go with some of the coloring that's kind of on here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm being quite... I'm just using up these stickers, I'm just going to go all the way across and do that. Why not? Why not? I'm going to do that the same over here too. Let's see. Maybe put it a little bit more. Is there a center to this? Maybe right there. Yeah, I can't put down stickers and talk at the same time. Let's see. Yeah. Well, that looks too short and that looks too long, and we're fine with that, right? It's fine. I think I am going to put the tree. We'll still have the tree up, and so I kind of want to have like a celebration look, probably here. I should put down a little bit of washi tape here. Let's see. Can I line that up? Kind of do. I was wishing for a little bit of silver, like maybe getting some silver washi tape in the new year. But the gold goes really well with this. So I'm going to actually just use these two, which were the same as last week. And yeah, that's about how things are going right now. I will say, I feel a little intimidated by thinking about yearly goals. And I am one to usually plan out yearly goals this time of year. Like I pretty regularly do that. But I also very firmly believe you can plan goals whenever it feels right to you. And if this is not the time, it's not the time. So if I was going through something pretty big, then I would not be planning goals right now. I also, enjoy spending time with my family. So it depends how you feel. I would say really trust your gut. And if it just feels like, January, when everybody is back at work and back to things, that's better, do that. Maybe you get more quiet time if you have kids and they're back in school, or it just feels right for your body to be like, I need full time off, which means full time off from even thinking about any type of goals whatsoever. Or you can just not have goals. There's nothing written saying that you as a person need to have goals in your life. Like, I also just wing it a lot of times. Like, there'll be ideas that I get in my head and I never write them down, and I'll go ahead and do them anyway. Let's see. So I'm hoping there is a present kind of coming here to someone else. It's coming late, and that's totally crooked. Yeah, I ordered some really cool t-shirts, and I ordered them like December 9th, and they did update me a few times saying, we don't think we're running behind. They said they were running behind, but they just got placed in the mail yesterday. So I'm kind of thinking they'll come around here. And that's what those two are for. But the disappointing thing was, like, the one said, yeah, and it'll be delivered in 9 days after that. And it's like, well, I understand that it was hard to get everything out. I don't think there's any more snow in the forecast. It's supposed to be pretty warm this week, so everything's going to melt off at least by like here. So, but I just love putting on the little snowflakes. And, ooh, I like this kind of bird. So it's like a partridge in a pear tree. And it can just sit right there, chilling, hanging out, Actually, I was going to put the horse on here, but to me, it feels more like ringing in the new year. Or should this be... Technically, it's like right here, right? But I kind of messed that up a little bit. I guess I can put this here. I can do what I want, right? I'm a grown-up person here. So here's like, we're kind of ringing in all day. And then do I want the horse? What do I want to do here? I think I want to put some of the ornaments. Oh, this star is really pretty. I kind of want to put that star on top. Is that too much? Is it? Now I can put the horse on. I've had these stickers for, whoa, horse wanted to jump. These stickers for at least a year. I ordered them last year, and I'm trying to remember if I grabbed another set of them. I don't remember. But that was the thing. I had like multiple Christmas sets, and so it was like, which one am I going to use? So I have like all gold and blue and gold here. A little bit of red, a little bit of red. That's fine. That's fine. What else? What else? I just want to put like maybe an ornament or two over here while we still have our decorations up. And my son's still out of school. There, I can go there. I kind of like a little bit more yellow on here. It's kind of like they're hanging. Any more ornaments? This is like enough over here. Maybe down here. I don't know. What can we put down here? I think we're okay with the presents. I don't really want to put the bird. Some hearts. Put a little... Oh, that's cute. Experiment, right? Habits. And that's another thing about habits. It's like, you don't have to change things. Especially if it's like new year, new you. Like, you don't have to do that. I actually am not feeling compelled to do that. I feel a lot of things are working. But I also feel like there's some parts of my planning I'm letting go. I like that. That's cute. I don't know if I can keep that up. That would be down there. I'm just going to put a few more hearts to kind of bring, you know, that sense of love into this new year here. Like, I don't love that these are close by, but I'm really loving these little hearts. And I think that's like life right there, right? You like parts. You don't like parts. C'est la vie, right? So here are the cards I picked for this week. And the first one is moderation. A helper or an attitude that has served you reaches a limit. I thought that was really interesting. A helper could be a person, could be something that you've put together that supports you, just has reached a limit. Or it just may no longer serve you and you can let it go. That's kind of my interpretation of that. I love, the hummingbirds on there. And next is 5 of air, which is tension, conflict, tension and conflict is a good way to see my motives and intentions. Can use this experience to grow into a better version of myself. So yeah, the air signs are definitely like thinking, and 5 being kind of conflict. 9 of shells. Now this is an important one. This one I read early on this year, or maybe even late last year, and I said that this is what it's all about. And I kind of talked about this to a client of mine in the last week or so, was that penguins fly. They fly in the water. They soar in the water. And it's just a different way of doing things, but they can soar just as well. So 9 of shells is about gratitude, fulfillment, diving down deep to bring dreams to fruition, determined and insightful, may not fly, but doesn't keep them from soaring, is what the meaning directly said. Gratitude radiates from them. So I almost see this penguin as kind of a mascot for me. I think about them a lot, of just what they're capable of doing. And then High Priestess, and that's trust in your wisdom. Your intuition knows what's best. Yes. Listen to your intuition. And then we are having, today we're coming off of like a new moon in Capricorn, which is your hard work is paying off. What can you let go of? So I am putting these over here. And I completely forgot all of them. Let's see if I can remember them. Let's see. Let's challenge myself. Yeah, I've forgotten the first one already. I've forgotten them all. See, that's how quick. I know the penguin, but I don't remember these. Okay. Moderation. I really can't hold much in my mind anymore. I used to be able to. I remember as a kid going, wow, you can't remember that? But I had a fresh brain back then. Fresh brain. And so like I could look at like a math sheet and remember all the answers or stuff like that. Now, oh no. Like just to remember one number and then go to another app to copy that number in. No. No, I have to go back and forth a lot. Priestess. And then new moon in Cap, which is I do know that is a earth sign. So that's a very grounding sign. What else? I feel like we're moving. We're getting things done. I do have on here that I want to fill up my car before the end of the new year. I have some points to use up. And I'm getting a little low, but I'm not going out in this ice to do that. And we have hopefully a couple pickups here. So we have, yeah, it should be okay by here for Redwell to come. They are recycling keys this week. I don't think I have any extra keys. These actually will be the last time I use these little trucks. They were really cute. The Knockout print shop doesn't make them anymore. I'm sure she has the files, but you know, she's not going to stock them. So, and then kind of putting on for meals. I don't think I'll be using that anymore. There's this huge lump right here of just these little forks. What else? Not doing lawn maintenance yet. We don't need shopping. We'll have so much leftovers next week. No medicines. Plant stuff, possibly. Let's put a little plant. I love doing plants on Mondays, but to be honest, I just took care of them today. So I'll probably look back in on them on Tuesday. Oh, I am losing. It's another truck. Okay. What else? Yeah, we were going to get some car work done, but we put that on pause until the new year. I think that's about it. I think I mentioned in the last one, I am less scheduling like laundry and bathrooms and that kind of stuff. I'm just doing them, especially when there's like time like this. I just kind of do it on when it feels like, okay, yeah, it's reached my limit of what I prefer. And usually for laundry, I really don't mind doing laundry at any time because we don't have a ton. there's interpretations, I guess you could take from that, but I mean, I don't mind also running a load through. Like, I'll do maybe one load here and one load here, and it's whenever our hampers are full, and I don't mind putting it away. I've just never had a problem with folding. Maybe when I was little. Water. We're not gonna keep up some vitamins next week because we're seeing people. I have a feeling I might be wearing a mask a lot of the time. I mean, family did test negative so far, but it still can be, it still can incubate, right? So, yeah. Oh, I did do, let's look at the weekly, that was the thing. So I didn't do this last week at all. I thought I did. That's okay. So this got moved forward. Definitely getting rest. Definitely been drinking water. And then this got moved forward. So yeah, it was mainly kind of here. We didn't get to go to a light display yet, but we have been doing movies and stuff like that. I have been enjoying. And doing this right now. There's just one thing I want to do. Okay, so yeah, that, oh, son's yelling. There is a 9/12 infusion that went through kind of incorrectly according to them. So insurance estimates can be nice and are often wrong. And for the most part, though, this is like the drug I'm on is so expensive. And I would say it covered like 90%. So I am not worried. I was more worried about them covering it at all. They are covering a whole lot of it. When I look back at their estimates, it is kind of, and more of like their lookup system. So there's like the lookup system, and then when you actually talk to somebody and try to get an estimate, and sometimes those two differ. And so the looking up estimate, when I just looked at it again this morning, is actually pretty accurate to what they charged, which is like a few $100s. Well, more than a few, but like in that range. Whereas otherwise it's like $15,000. So we were just hoping that they would cover. This is our old insurance. Like, we've swapped insurances, and going forward, it's been fine. It's actually just a copay so far. We're trying to see how this last week's goes through them, and it should be okay. And we also have very low deductibles and stuff on our new insurance. But this old insurance, I will say, it's UHC, and we've hated them. We've had them for probably 6 years at various employers, and it's so rough. It's so rough. I'm not saying that there's tons better out there. I know we were with Cigna before that, and now we are back with Cigna, and Cigna is amazing. They're not, I would have to say Blue Cross to me is like the highest stuff. I used to have them a long time ago, and I've heard that they're kind of the highest. You all probably have much different opinions about things. I think all companies, insurance companies, screw people over at times. Some a whole lot more than others. And we have had to fight for my son's autism therapy. We actually started getting them covered really well at the beginning of our time with UHC. They're like, oh yeah, sure. In our wording here, we will cover, it was, what was it called? Neurological therapy. I'm trying to remember how they stated that. And they said they would cover it as much as we wanted. And then we got into it and they're like, yeah, but no. So they realized how expensive that therapy is. And it is, because we were going weekly and they were billing it in 15-minute increments. And so we'd need 4 credits per session. And they would give us 52 credits. And we thought that was 52 weeks. But we'd have to keep renewing it and stuff, because they weren't in network. That was the biggest part. But we didn't have anyone else around, and everyone else around is like years out. And this is occupational therapy. It's not ABA therapy. So, and we loved our therapist so much. We might see her a little bit again. It's been a few years now since we last saw her, but we're thinking about taking him back for a little while. For the most part, he's doing really well. And we just learned how to handle transitioning him from like one task to another, or how to process surprises for him. That was mainly what I learned how to do, and how to help support him in his own ways. We don't really get him to alter his behaviors so much. If it's like going to hurt somebody, yes, but stimming, being upset at things. Just recently I was telling him, like, it's okay to be mad at me. It's totally okay. There is no problem. Be mad at mommy. That's fine. That's fine. We can work it out. Those feelings are very valid. And he seems to respond to that. He's like, yeah, I'm feeling that. But our actions aren't necessarily our core selves. And we have to learn that our actions can affect other people. And yeah. Anyway, I won't get... So this claim is the one that I shot off some real quick emails to this morning, because this is the one that they processed. So it's not fully done yet, so I'm going to definitely carry it forward. This one is MIA. We don't even know where this one is yet. And that one comes after. But this one is the one that was a few $100s that now, because I'm also signed up to be part of like the actual drug company's financial program, we're kicking it over to them to see if they'll cover the rest, because that's what they said. So we're going to see. Fortunately, it's only 2 claims, and if they process them at where they did with this one, and nobody covers the rest, we'll still be okay. And to me, that helps me sleep at night. Because, yeah, it's kind of expensive, but we can get through it, and it's not going to put other things at risk. We're still, putting a lot in the savings right now for a goal that we have. And that it makes me feel really, really, really fortunate right now. Because we've lived years where it's not like this. Years and years and years of just everything being so tight, and with trying to afford all therapy for my son and all this medical support for myself. I know it's super hard. And I know when we get those bills, we sometimes have to kick it right back to them and say, no, this is not right. Try again. That's not what you promised us. So that's my soapbox. Oh, I did this. And we got our vacuum hung up. And back mounted. It won't stand up on its own. It's a different style. And so it was really nice to just get that hung up on the wall yesterday. It's those little tiny projects. I was thinking about that. Like, this is such a great time to go, you know what? We're just going to get like these last little projects around the house done. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So when I went here, so the wins were like, I watched a bunch of holiday movies yesterday. I love, let's see. My friend and I were texting each other. What's it called? Happiest Season? I always want to put the word holiday in there. I think it's just called Happiest Season. Love that one. I think the next one was Single All the Way. Love that one. I really saw how much more heartfelt those are. I really enjoyed those. What else? I watched A Boy Called Christmas last night, and it was well done technically. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite, and I might watch it again sometime. I did watch Spirited on Apple there, and it was not my favorite. I love Scrooged. Like, I know Bill Murray has kind of been a being up. I don't swear on here. I swear a lot in real life, but I do try to make sure that if you have kids listening, sometimes he can be not so nice to people, I think, where he's trying to be funny, and there's been some kind of conflicts about that. I did grow up loving his movies. There's so many of his movies I like, and I do like Scrooge. I don't think I watch it every year. It's more like an every other year thing. And I think they were kind of going along those lines. And I really do love Ryan Reynolds and, what's his name? The guy who was in Elf. Actually, Elf is what I think I might want to watch again, because that's been a couple years since I've seen that. It's probably something I'll put on right after this. Anyway, it just, because there was like times in it where they were kind of like being mean, and I'm all for, like, I don't think everything has to be pristine and clean and nice all the time for my holiday movies. There are many holiday things where they aren't, but this, to me, I just wasn't understanding it. That was the biggest part. Like, I kept going, when am I going to get into this film? There's that point where you're kind of like watching the beginning and then you kind of get into it, and I just couldn't get into it because there were, to me, my neurodivergent brain was like, I don't understand some of these things. Like, I'm not comprehending some of these things. That's just where I was. And maybe that's just where my brain was at the moment too. I did also watch another show. If you have Prime, and actually I don't have Prime anymore. I was just using it during the holidays. I watched this show called Riches, and it's not the old one with Eddie Izzard. The new one that just came out this year, and it's really good. It was really good. It was kind of a whodunit, mostly British actors, but it was really good. Yeah, I'd highly recommend. There's like 6 episodes, and I stayed up late because I'm like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? It's a little mystery-ish because there's this company, the father dies and it gets inherited, and then someone was trying to destroy the company and they have to figure out who it is. So what worked is baking early. I can sit here and go, yeah, everything's baked, everything's wrapped. I found one of my presents wasn't the right size yesterday, as in dimensions. I was getting something to fit inside something else. And I'm so glad I like measured last night, because I'm like, that doesn't fit. The one I have is way too small. So I ordered, like, I had that free 30-day Prime thing, and I, ordered last minute yesterday. So it's coming tomorrow. And I think that's it. So, whew. Yeah, so what didn't work? That infusion billing yet. Oh, and my husband got called for jury duty in January. I don't think many of his previous employers would have paid him, but his current employer does. So he's like, huh, you mean I can just go? And they're like, yeah, we want you to serve on a jury, even though you work for us. We understand that that's a really important thing. So I think more companies are doing it these days, but in the past, like, it often would be a hardship for people. I think I was called once for jury duty, and I think I was in school. I was either in school or it was like the first couple months of me having my son. Like, it was one of those, like, yeah, I can't do that right now, so I've never served. I'll probably get my summons next week, right? So that would be harder. I think that would be a little harder. We'll see how this works. Lessons. Miscommunications happen. There are some just like little things that are happening. Things go wrong sometimes. Adjustments. Let mistakes happen. Sometimes you just have to let them happen, even if they just make you feel uncomfortable. Like, we can't control that. So the next kind of thing that's part of this is my next week into... I'm really trying to wrap my head around yearly goals. Last year, you'll see when I do them, this last year, the goals I put in the front of this planner, and it's a yearly planner, a lot of them I'm like, why did I even put that in there? I don't mind seeing them and going, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, it doesn't feel to me that I need to achieve them. I can let them go. I'm just like, why did I waste time, like, even thinking that I wanted to? And I think part of that was like, I'm looking at goals for other people and kind of adopting them myself. And so kind of just like trying to let those go. Yeah, sometimes we have to realize what is best for us. Vitamins. There's M's and I's in there. They just, I don't know. It looks like Vita onions, but that's okay. Our eye appointments, we got all of them on a Saturday in January, so that was kind of cool. Just all three go. And let's see. I think we'll definitely want to put decorations away. It might be decor. Oh, they're having fun out there. Let's see. Because our season has kind of gone on so long, I think I will definitely be ready. Because sometimes I'm just like, oh, it's too soon. I don't want to take everything down yet. But let's see. So yeah, I'll put the 912 claim. 926 claim. It's kind of out of our hands right now. Oh yeah, and then I don't know if we're going to eat out or bring something to eat or just chill here. I don't know what it is yet. And this guy keeps popping off. Well, that's okay. Come here. Come here. You're gone. I don't need you there. That's okay. So what do I want to do for New Year's for fun? I want to build a deck. So what that means is in MTG, and I haven't done this. This is Magic the Gathering. They have an online app. I've been so tired you build your own decks, right? So I have this card here because, mainly I have it because there's a rabbit on there. But this, these cards, you can build decks. And I just haven't had the mental bandwidth to build any. But I would really like to, because that's kind of a thing that we do after the family gets together, and then we have this like week of chilling, and it would be just really nice to take a couple hours and do that. For the if there's any people who are into that, which I don't think so yet, this channel isn't quite big enough. If anyone's into that, if you play MTG Arena, let me know, because it would be fun to play a game. It's a free to play game. I actually don't sink that much money into it. I think I pay $20 if I'm into wanting to do more with it in a year. I think I've spent like $10 here and then $10 here, and that was it. I've kind of taken a back seat to it. We've played this game for forever. When did I learn it? 2000, maybe around 2019? No, 2000 something. 4? Yeah, so it's been almost 20 years, and my husband used to work there, and so we're a gaming family. But yeah, it's like one of those things where I guess it's kind of like building a puzzle. Like, it's nice to just sit down and kind of do that and kind of think it through and let your mind wander and kind of like push all distractions to the side. And then once I build that deck, though, I can use it over and over whenever I sit down and play. And usually I sit down for like 10 minutes in the morning. So, and do that. So it's kind of an investment of my time. I'm going to leave this open because I don't have podcasts. I don't have a newsletter this week. I'm taking a little time off from those. There is an invoice I want to get out for a client, and then one other thing, and then therapy next week. Put it up a notch here. I think that's it. I'm keeping it really chill here. Okay, so why don't I put my dots on here, and I mean, overall though, I'll talk about this in my yearly goals and stuff. I could not have imagined where this year would have taken us. It was quite a ride, and I was actually thinking about all the people we lost this year. It was actually more than during COVID times, and that's hard. It was more extended family for us. It was like 5 people, which is a lot. Like, I'm trying to think if they were all aunts and uncles. No, there were 2 that were like cousins' parents. Yeah, so that's hard. And that's really hard for them going into this new year and stuff, to not have those family members around. Yeah. I think most of this is kind of teal, so I'm just going to put these here. They're a little off, but that's fine. I could put a little yellow on top of them. What? I've never done this. Let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, now they're green. I'm not going to do that anymore. So this will be kind of my number 1 thing. And then I'll have like 2 other things to think about that I want to put there. So I think that's it. I'm sorry if this is so long. I'm a little rambly today. And I hope everyone has a great start to their new year. Think about, if you want to use your planners a little differently, if you want to have more things in them, if you want to have less things in them. I think a lot of people, what I've been hearing from them is like less, and that's okay, right? But if there's like, you want more decoration to be more inspired, if you want to like do things differently than what other people are doing, please do that. Try out a week. What I am really trying is like, let's not get cemented in for the year, because that's what I've been doing every year. And I'm just like, no, I really like just taking some time, watching a movie, putting all my stickers in, and I'm done. And so when I go to plan that next week, I'm just like, great, it's all ready for me. But this year, like, that's shifted, and that's okay. That's a new me. I'm just doing my new thing, and that's okay. So, and I think that's going to go the same for my goals of like less is more, and just really kind of, they often become too nebulous for me. And so then I'm just like, what was I thinking here? And what does it mean when I accomplish them? And I'd rather have some quick wins at the beginning of the year that are small, And so I can try something out instead of thinking it's this year-long commitment. Now we have one major goal next year, and it's a 6-month goal. And so we'll see. We'll see how that, it's a big change. And no, it's not another kid. So I'll say that. But yeah, that's kind of been our goal this whole year, and that it comes into fruition next year, in some type of form. Like, we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but we do know mid next year there's going to be hopefully this goal that we want to achieve. But other than that, I don't have like anything big. So that's kind of my preamble to what my yearly goals will look like. Yeah, as the sun goes down here, it's about 3 o'clock, so I don't have much more light. I hope you enjoy. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.